The mind as a garden, the art of cultivating destiny, and the war against negative weeds. In the grim reality of behavioral psychology, the human mind is never a stagnant wasteland. It is a vibrant, fertile, and ever-shifting entity. Visualize your mind as a garden. An immutable law of nature dictates the soil never remains vacant. If you do not proactively sow the seeds of awakening, ironclad conviction, and purposeful thought, the weeds of fear, anxiety, and social prejudice will inevitably arise to choke every path. Your internal inertia adores leaving the garden to fate, as cultivation demands a necessary ruthlessness toward indolence. But stay alert. Weeds do not require care to flourish. They multiply through your neglect. When you allow your mind to drift, you are effectively permitting the hypnotic rhythms of a toxic environment to transmute the garden of your soul into a desolate junkyard of unfinished dreams. Surgery on negativity. Why do weeds so easily possess the mind? Why do negative thoughts possess such aggressive vitality? It is because they take root in the basest levels of human survival instinct. Your internal resistance consistently prioritizes threatening information, the fear of failure, and self-doubt to protect you from the risks of transformation. Media and the pressures of conformity from the masses are the winds that carry these weed seeds, scattering them into your mind every passing second. Failing to govern your thoughts is an act of spiritual suicide. When you allow weeds to overgrow, the light of boundless wisdom cannot penetrate the dense foliage of doubt. You become a slave to your own negative emotions, reacting to life with complaints rather than proactively architecting it. To reclaim supreme autonomy, you must perform radical surgery on your internal cultivation system. It is not enough to merely pull the weeds, you must overhaul the very roots of your beliefs. Practicing spiritual gardening, the strategy for nailing positivity. To prevent being piloted by circumstance, you must become a disciplined and discerning gardener. Practical application requires installing an operating system based on daily awakening, selecting the seeds, input control. Exercise intellectual vigilance in the information you consume. Do not permit social white noise or toxic media to enter your sanctuary. Sow grandiose ideas by engaging with independent minds and nourishing a definite purpose. Rooting out the weeds. Dissecting fear. The moment a negative thought flickers, perform immediate psychological surgery. Do not let it take root. Ask yourself, does this thought serve my vision? If not, ruthlessly excise it through concrete action. Nourishing with discipline. Consistency. Positive thinking is not a shallow slogan. It must be fed by continuous and persistent action. Every micro-victory over stagnation is a watering of the great tree of ironclad conviction. The achievement of the cultivator, when the mind blossoms into destiny. Profound fulfillment and success are the yields of an unyielding spiritual labor. Once you master the garden of your mind, you will see the external world begin to mirror your internal beauty. You no longer dread the fog of adversity, for you know you possess the capacity to find the seed of benefit in every situation. Your unique individuality will bloom, radiant and invulnerable to the masses' attempts at assimilation. Maintain your internal compass and never allow the hypnotic rhythm of convenience to ruin your creative work. You become the embodiment of what you believe, and if you believe in the power of proactive cultivation, the entire universe will harmonize to transform your garden into a paradise of greatness. Seize the tools of discipline, define the coordinates of your dreams, and begin planting this very moment. For a garden left untended will soon become its own prison.